Pratik, you can start now.
So, hello everyone. Welcome to the interview experience by one of our own community member, Bahar Grover. So, EduHub is a community for the people and by the people. The vision of the community is to build an environment where people can learn together and implement together. It provides people the opportunity to work with them, showcase their talent, work in team, and manage a group of people under them. An initiative to contribute to the open source community by providing training, guidance, and awareness about the possibilities in the field of software to students. Learn real life skills from experts, join clubs, hang out, and network with smart people. So today we are with Bahar Grover, who has cracked an placement with Nagar.
Hello, Pratik. Thank you for giving a brief introduction regarding me. And thank you, everyone, whoever used to join and used to take a part here over this live session. So, I'll just give you a brief about myself. That I'm Bahar Grover, and I'm currently working as a software developer trainee in Nagarro. And I'm also working as an event and HR manager in the EduHub. So far, regarding my experiences, I have done a way lot more internships and have sorts of full time, part time, and internship level of experience. So yeah, and the technologies which I usually prefer is uh, I love to work as a front end developer, and I also am having experience of a React and Node developer, and currently I am working and learning Angular as well. And the main aim I want to go in the future for the domain is of the cloud enthusiast. I really love to work in that field in the AWS or even if it's a Google Cloud. So yeah, this is all about me. Thank you.
Okay, so Bahar, let's start with one of the favorite questions of interview. Introduce
Okay.
yourself. Tell me something about yourself.
Okay.
So,
So,
how to approach the question that tell me about yourself?
oh yeah, sure. See, whenever interviewer asks you, how, first the question whichever comes when you are giving an interview is like whatever, give a brief about yourself. They're not asking regarding your interest or hobbies. Whatever, what they are trying to get from you all is like whatever the experience you have had or you have grasped while completing your college and or while you were at your college days, and secondly what sort of technologies you have worked upon. So talking about my experiences, I have done so many internships which were including technical field and non-technical field as well. Like the technical field which I opted was like of a web designer, then a React and Node intern, then I also worked as in cloud enthusiast. And for the non-tech profiles which I opted for was the digital marketing, then it was like public relation manager, then I opted for the program manager, HR. These were all like I not only got for like I need to interact with people, but the thing was I just found or I just crave interest in those fields. So yeah, this is like a sort of experiences that an interview wants from you and the projects you have worked upon. This is all brief. They never wants to know regarding your family. In some sort of trainings they used to tell you, the trainers used to tell you that you need to give a brief about your family or whatever you do. They never look out for that, because whenever you apply for a job or apply for a position, they refer you, or they take your LinkedIn profile or whatever the profile you have created for mentioning your experiences. So all over what they want is your professional experience and the professional criteria whatever you are holding. So you don't need to tell regarding all the informal formalities to them. This is what I think, while giving an introduction to an interview, this is what basically matters. So yeah, this is.
Yeah, quite diverse profile you have, I must say. And you have
Yeah.
explained the question very well. So I guess our viewers must not have a doubt in this question from now on. So other thing I would like to ask you is how was your preparation strategy for during the college years and also during the placement time? So what strategy you
Okay.
followed, what timetable you followed?
Okay, so talking about the strategies and the preparation, I really just tell you, I never do any sort of strategy, or never, or I haven't even created any sort of timetable for that specific purpose. But the thing I just did it, used to just brush up my basic skills, like of the coding, like prime number, reverse, palindrome, Fibonacci series, and like these sort of basic questions, like whichever the interview needs to ask, or some sort of like pseudo codes which are usually asked in DSA part. And the next thing that I worked over upon was my conceptual part, and I really didn't preferred any sort of sites beside my interview. But like for preparing that, like in the college time, I only just focus over my college notes which I created over like handmade of myself, and of the core subjects only, which were like DSA, oops, DBMS, OS, computer networks. These are basically 5 to 6 main subjects that usually an interview go through, and nothing apart they go through, and these are only the conceptual subjects they go through. Apart from that, they directly reach to your coding things. That's it. And in the placement time, like I preferred some sort of sites, and yeah, like which I find the content really useful and really concise for me, to be which was really up to the mark, whatever I needed. And interview was also impressed by the answers that I gave to him. Yeah, yeah. So like that sort of things were really useful to me.
Yeah,
And then,
so I guess you are a go with the flow person.
yeah, exactly.
So which coding language would you recommend to the students of first, second, or third year, or you prefer logical ability over any coding language?
Okay. See, I think for the coding language, the students of first and third year, I will not be suggesting to the third year. I'll be suggesting to the first and second year, because first and second year is the growing and the upcoming stage where a student needs to know what they need to go for. Because I have met a lot of students like this in the first and second year, like they are so much like they are so much confused, like what to opt. So I just usually prefer to them is C and CPP, because there you need to write long codes, but there you can get a complete idea of what sort of code you need to write on, and your basics will also get completely cleared there. And regarding the languages, like in the current trend, the company that usually prefers Python, Java, .NET. These are the companies usually prefer, like Cognizant, Nagarro, Wipro. These three, I think these three I might know prefer .NET, and TCS prefer Java. So this is the knowledge I'm having currently. And Infosys to
So like you,
course.
so
Yes,
like you
Pratik.
are saying that the company which we want to apply, we need to know that their coding language is preference,
Yeah,
and we need to
exactly. And
follow that, right?
sometimes, yeah, exactly. But sometimes it too refers on the company's requirement, that whatever their client is asking for. So you cannot judge, but like, I'm just telling you an approximate ratio, like at what maximum number what a company prefers. But at last, it totally depends upon the
Okay.
requirement.
Okay, okay. You mentioned about data structures. So,
Yeah.
what is its importance in getting placements and all?
Okay, this is literally a question. I must say, I like in Nagarro when I uh, uh, like when I opt for the technical interview. So telling you honestly, like Nagarians usually prefer DSA when they are taking or when they are opting up for the interviews. The interviewers, really the senior engineers and the senior associate staff engineers, they usually prefer only data structures. So my only advice for you all is, do prepare the conceptual things, but try to focus more on the data structures with the conceptual and the logical and the practical things as well, like algos, their pseudocodes, their complexities, and whatever it holds, everything you need to focus on, because data structure is the main thing, like after oops or dbms. Cause in oops and dbms they only ask you basic things, but in the dsa they ask you from basic to advanced. So it's a must that you need to more and more focus on data structures.
Okay, that's great. Speaking of placement times, most thing ask is CGPA. So, is it necessary to maintain the CGPA?
Exactly, I say, but like when you are getting placed, it doesn't even matters like you are scoring a high cgpa like a 9 pointer or 8 pointer. But if you want to really apply for a dream company, like a dream career you want to make in a dream company, then they ask you for higher cgpas. So it's a matter of fact like which company you need to opt for. If you are opting for as a fresher, because higher companies like mncs, they never hire freshers because they need a lot more experience. But if you are like looking for an mnc, so first what you need to do is to go for having a higher cgpa with no active backlogs, and second thing is you must be holding a great experience in your practical things. And thirdly, if you are having or if you have done any sort of internship in that MNC, then the chances of getting hired in that MNC is much and much higher. So this is what I need to say about this.
Okay, that's great. In
Yeah.
your preparation, you mentioned you use some tools for your placement interviews. So, would you
Yeah.
brief us about some tools?
Yeah. Like what I used is the sites that I basically used was Lead Code. Lead Code is a site where you can get questions all from basic to advanced. And if you really want a concise content, because over the site of lead code you only get codes, not the conceptual thing. For conceptual thing, for making your concepts clear, you must go for w3 school. That is the best site. I must recommend you all for that thing. And if you want to go from basic to advanced or for the competitive programming, you must visit the lead code. And for making your basic coding conceptual questions clear, you go for the site of educba. Like I really prefer that site educba, and it's the like so much, like I don't have to put even any effort searching another site for that, and it's totally great. And I must be recommending you all to use do these three such sites for that. And for preparing the interview questions, like for the conceptual or either in the quiz or in the pseudocode form, you can use interview bit provides you really concise and really great matter that interviewer will get really impressed out of your answer, because it will provide you real world examples, it will provide you the conceptual thing in a concise matter, it will provide you quizzes, it will provide you pseudocodes, and it to provide you short programs that an interviewer used to ask in the interviews. So yeah, this is what I will recommend.
Okay, great tools, and we'll provide this all tools, links to this all tools to our community members
Yes.
soon. And next, I would like to ask is what kind of projects and how many projects? Can you brief us about something about
Okay.
projects?
Um. See, projects. It depends on you. Like in which technology you think you can excel, or you can let the interview know that you are like, or you can let the interviewer know that you are comfortable with this project, because in the project he can ask you anything. If you are only focusing over dbms, he'll not ask you from dbms, like only not the database related stuff, but he can ask you regarding everything, whether you have used html, whether you have used javascript, whether you have used bootstrap, how you have used, what sort of difficulties you faced while. So you have to have a knowledge of all the project, whatever the technologies you have used in it, not only the one domain whichever you have worked over upon. Because when you mention a project in a resume, so it means you need to know everything about that project. And regarding how many projects, it's totally depends upon you, like how many projects you can do. If you're doing n number of projects, it's really good, but the thing comes here is only mention those projects in your resume whom you think are best for you, and whom you think you can make the interview explain and convince towards yourself. Wait, I'm just getting questions. Where to see those questions?
Okay, so we got your LinkedIn profile in the chats. So a
Okay.
question from LinkedIn itself.
Okay.
During placement times, everybody posts that I got placed here, I got placed there. And if we don't get placed anywhere, we get fear of something missing out or anything. So how to
Okay.
deal with
Okay.
that things?
Okay, that's a really good question. Like, honestly saying, like I do, when my placement or when the companies used to onboard in our college, I do get stressed out, even though I'm not a person who used to take a lot of stress or used to comes up with a lot of anxiety, but still I got stressed out. For recovering those things, like I must suggest you keep on working over your skills, keep on making your basics strong, and don't forget to do your regular stuff or regular habits or whatever your hobbies you are craving for. Like if you like traveling, if you like listening music, or if you like to play an instrument, they are the best stress relievers that you can do at that time. I did too. I love to dance and I did the same. Some things, or sometimes you think like you are lacking somewhere, try to talk to yourself by seeing in the mirror. This is the best thing like I can suggest anyone. This also boosts the confidence within yourself, and secondly it also helps you while facing someone at present or in personal with you. So yeah, this is the thing.
Okay, and since we are on LinkedIn, is it
Yeah.
necessary to maintain such profiles like LinkedIn, GitHub, and all, or we do not need to maintain these profiles?
Okay. um I only suggest if you're not maintaining your GitHub, it's completely okay. Because very few organizations used to put up or used to, ask for your GitHub links. But many of the organizations, if they are MNCs, if they are or startup based companies or rapidly growing companies, they only ask for your LinkedIn's and for your portfolios. So never miss out for your LinkedIn profiles. Whatever you get, whatever you achieve, whatever the course you have completed, or whatever you have getting featured in, or anything like that, try to update your LinkedIn as, because whenever you share your LinkedIn profile with anyone, or only the resume with anyone, whatever they do is, what they do is they first check yours, that profile over the LinkedIn, like what this person have actually craved. Like, is that person have craved for the curricular activities? Apart from that, what else they have do? Are they being volunteered as an volunteer or some sort of a team or a group? So this is what actually a company craves for. They only do not need tech person, but they also need a person who is ready to take up lead if whatever the situation arrives, or if a person, or if the person related to the domain is not available, and if you are eligible for that, and they just prompt you. Because like I'm just sharing a life scenario with you all. Like I used to work as an HR manager in Kohli Media. That was my an internship sort of stuff, and there I used to work as a talent acquisition HR. So what comes up, all the people engagement HR were busy and were not available. So I was getting like 1 hour. I was at my college, and I just recently got a call from my manager, and she told me like this urgency has came up, and you need to come up and host the session, and this, and you have to make the session very very interactive, and this and that. So I just came up, like in 5 minutes I just reached home, and the session was at 6. So like it's before 6 I just reached home, and I just took upon the show, and that show was a blast. So this is what the qualities that a interviewer or a company craves for. So never miss out to lead an opportunity whichever you get, because you need to fetch that opportunity.
Okay, great. We have a question from Prasad that do the interviewers really expect the optimal solution of the problem given, or we could do that in our way?
See, some, I won't say like every interviewer has their own aspect. Some interviewers are so broad minded, like so innovative, that whatever, if you are not getting an optimal solution for your problem, if you are making your own solution for that problem, they really appreciate it and try to give you a chance ahead. But some interviewers are so stubborn that they want only the optimal solution, and sometimes what they did is like they just pause, and they just never give you a chance, and they just say good luck, better luck next time. So it totally depends upon the interviewer, like what they want from you. So it's as simple as that. So and the second thing I must say, like never forget to think out of the box. Creativity really matters, because if one person is not acknowledging your creativity, but the other person will surely do that. So never do or never think inside the box, just think outside the box, let your thoughts flow.
That's great. Uh, what I would like to ask is that what kind of profile should we look on? Like, should we focus specifically on some profiles like web dev, Android, or we should only look something for else?
See, it totally depends upon your interest. If you really want to become a web developer, so you can go and opt for that. If you really want to go for a web designer or a graphic designer, you can go and opt for that profile. If you really want to go for the Android development, you can go for that. If you really crave for digital marketing or something like graphic designer, or something like for the non-tech fields in like public relation manager or like business analyst, you can also opt for that. It's totally depends upon interest. Whatever the job or the whatever the position you are up to on, or whatever the position you are applying for, it totally depends upon your interest. If you don't crave interest for that position, you can never learn any new thing or cannot innovate any new thing into that thing.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So, speaking about internships, how many internships you did, or what were your learnings from that?
Okay. So I really actually I didn't remember how many sort of internships I have done, because it was a combined sort of thing. It was not only the internship, but it includes like my full time stuff, my part time stuff, my internships well also, and sometimes I used to work, and currently I'm also as a self-employed uh, intern. So like I if I just give you a count, so around 20 to 21 sort of experience I'm holding. Like so far I have worked in these sort of organizations, so I'm holding like this sort of terms. And regarding like what I have learned from those, it's it's the thing, like I really I was such an ambivert person, like I'm introvert and extrovert, but when it comes to interacting with people, I really used to become very shy when it comes to talking with the strangers. What these internships helped me out is to help me communicate with people, to generate confidence, to boost up like what I need to speak out in front of everyone, how to take everything professionally and sleekly smooth when I'm around with some sort of professionals. And it also boosts you confidence and everything, and it also provides you like how to talk with a interviewer. Because if you're not doing internships, then you are lacking some or the other way something behind. So internships is a must you need to do, because I have seen changes in me. I have evolved so much. Like the current me you are saying, this is not me when I was before doing the internships. After doing internships, this is me. So I have evolved a lot. So I must suggest you need to do internships or whatever experience you get.
So everybody should do internship at least once.
Yeah, experience is must.
So after internships, about placements. So would you recommend on-campus placements or off-campus placements, and why?
um I recommend both. If it is on campus or off campus, see the difference between these two is like on campus you don't need to fight for the opportunity. You just simply, you're just call it simply fetch it for you and you just need to grab it. But what in off campus is, you need to grab the opportunity, you need to struggle for it, for that you need to give 2 to 3 rounds of interviews, 2 to 3 rounds of coding assessment, 2 to 3 rounds of gds and all and all and all. In off campus, what the main thing is, you face lots of complexities, but what you get is so much of experience that you can easily grab on the on campus stuff. I too have opted for like 2 to 3 off campus placements in which I grabbed I got offer from 2 companies, and which one was from Pune, which was an recruiting company, and second one was an product based company, and they all were really offering me good thing. But on campus literally means a lot. If you're going as a fresher, try to go for on campus, because if you are facing any sort of difficulty, you can directly contact with your college for that thing. But in off campus you have no support, and being as a fresher you can't help it, and you will just stay in anxiety, like if you're going for the off campus thing, because you are not getting any sort of support if you get stuck somewhere, so you will be leading a lot of problems. So my choice for you is like, for you all the freshers, so go for the on campus, and later on you can switch on to off campus, because you will be holding a lot of experience. You will be able to make a lot of connections while working in a company, whichever you get placed beside the on campus. So these are all the things that I think it's matter while the time of placement process.
Okay, about placements, you might have applied to many companies, and you might
Yeah,
have also
exactly.
faced some rejections. So,
Yeah.
what are your learnings from the rejections and all, and how to cope up with rejections?
Okay. Um, for rejections, I must suggest rejections are a part of your success. If you don't get rejections, you will never know like what sort of mistakes you have done. Because interviewer only interviews you on the basis of your skills. If he or she won't tell you like where you are lacking, so you will be in a grudge, like where did I just lagged up. Because like if I am an interviewer and if you are in my a candidate and I am interviewing and I'm just talking you very sweetly and just making your all for, and I'm just hiding all the mistakes you are doing, and I'll just at the last of your interview I'm just saying thank you, best of luck, we'll just let you know your results. After that, whenever your result comes and it is told there in the mail that you are being rejected and we'll just consider you for next time if such sort of position appears. So what you will be thinking that time, that why I just got rejected? That question just like eventually strike in your mind, like why this question even comes up, because interviewer was talking very sweetly to you. He also he or she was also not telling your mistakes. So this is what a candidate face while. So if an interviewer is letting you know your mistakes and not hiding at all, so just may or just thank him or thank her at the last for telling your mistakes, because these are the biggest things that you'll not do in future. Well, it's a saying that the rejection makes the man perfect or the woman perfect. This is what it really means. So when you are when someone is letting you or making you know your mistakes, don't try to argue or don't try to be sad at that time. Just try to focus on where you just did it, where or what was lacking behind that that someone has pointed out to you. Just work over that so that next time it won't happen again. This will be my advice for you.
Okay, so we could say that rejections are stepping stones to success.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now speaking about the D-day, the interview day of yours. So
Oh,
what were you feeling and how the interview went? Let us know about that.
okay. When my technical interview arrived, I was happy at present, but when the interview start to begin, it just became so difficult for me. I just tried to stressed out. I just began to panic, but the one thing I wasn't forgetting about it, I just put up a smile over my face. Even though I was stressing out, even though I was panicking, I was just put up on a smile over my face, and that was the biggest thing that I lead all over the time of the interview. The how the interview like went. First they asked me like oops questions, what is virtual function, what is friend function, and their real life examples. Then secondly they move on to DSA. That's like further I told you all regarding that my interviewer asked from basic to advanced, like what is linked list, what are search complexities, what is the search complexity of the binary search, what is the search complexity of the linear search. And then he just moved on to the algos of that, like if you wanna do like if you wanna delete an element from a sorted array of 10 elements in a linked list, how will you do that? So I need to just tell him the approach. He was not making me to implement the code, but he was only asking me the approach, and that was way too more stressing out, because he was asking upon me the questions how to delete the element from first and last row, then how to add the element in the middle, then he just reached on to the doubly linked list, how to do that, then queue, then applications. And at last, like most of the questions whatever he asked to me was all related to the implementation approach. Only the conceptual base was two or three, rest all the questions were of the implementation approach. And the coding assessment which I went through was including the aptitude, reasoning, numerical ability, verbal ability. It was a combine of that, and it was containing of approx 25 questions. Then the second section was of DSA, which was leading up with 15 questions, and then the coding round, which was consisting of the three questions of the competitive programming. leading with two test cases in each, and I need to pass out the both the test cases. So yeah, this is all it went with the coding assessment. And now the HR round was way more good, and I was too confident because I actually cracked the technical one, and I was so happy, I was so happy. Like I just and they and like seeing me happy, the interviewer, the HR was so happy instead. Like she just began to laugh and smile with me. So yeah, it was. And just she asked me like, why should we hire you, what you know about Nagarro, and and what are your qualities, describe yourself, give a brief introduction regarding yourself, what will be the best location that you will prefer, and what are your salary expectations. These are the questions that were like basic questions that an HR or an organization usually ask from a candidate. So yeah, this was it.
Okay, and since we are in the interview, I would also like to ask you that what are some package negotiation techniques that you would like to
uh,
share?
Package negotiation techniques. See, it usually depends upon the companies. It never depends upon the candidate. And if you are a fresher, you can never negotiate with the package you are getting. You can only switch the companies, or you can grab as many offers and then you can choose like which company is offering the higher package. But you can never negotiate since at the starting of your career days.
Okay, we have a question from Dilkush that
Okay.
how much college tech matters.
How much? College?
College
Okay.
matters. In which
Okay.
college we are?
Okay. See, I was from ITM Gwalior, and being in a private college, it never matters to be in a college, only attendance matters. All you have to work is on yourself and by yourself. You can take the guidance of a teacher, you can make a you can make a teacher guardian of yourself, but you can never think like the college will teach you, because college is not your school. College, it's just an private institute for you to go and come and just for the marking of the attendance. That's it. They'll provide you opportunities. That's your thing to grab those opportunities with your own abilities, with your own skills, with your own confidence, with your own interpersonal things. Yeah, this is it.
Oh, great. Now we have a question from Ankur. He is asking that could you recommend some key aspects of a good resume?
Okay. Key aspects of a good resume and its aspect. Okay, fine. um I think a good resume holds up like a short, brief, not only brief, just short, concise, what are you and what describes you best. Then it comes all over the achievements at the last, but what it mainly holds is like your technologies, your projects, whatever you are working on, and these things. Your resume should be only of one page, not more than that. Resume is only for your experiences and exposures, but if you are making a cv needs to be a way more elaborated. CV needs to be 3 to 4 pages, or might be 2 to 3 pages. It's up to all you, like what sort of things you have done in your college period. But resume needs to be very concise, and it too keeps importance. Like most of the organizations refer resume, but most refer CV. So it's just usually based on what the company wants from you. Either it's a CV, your only the skills or the technologies you are holding for, or your brief, like whatever you know, or whatever a person you are. And second thing, like if you work in both the domains, either it's a non-tech or a technical thing, you need to make separate resumes for both of them. You don't have to mix both the resumes. If you work in a technical field, just make a separate resume for your tech stuff, and if you make a non-tech, like if you work in the non-tech field, you just need to make a non-tech resume separate for that. So yeah, this is it.
Great. So resume should be short and crisp. That's
Yeah.
what you are saying.
Mhm.
Next, we have a question from Gorish that on what technology you are working right now.
Okay, I'm currently working on .NET, and I am also learning Angular as well.
That's great. We had a question from Tanya while you were saying about your interview time. So, what questions were asked? Could you quickly brief us about that?
Okay. Uh, in my technical interview, the interviewer began with he began with oops, like what is a friend function, then what is a virtual function, and its real life examples. Then he just reached upon the DSA, where he asked questions me from basic to advanced level, like what are the data structures, and the complexities, the search, linear search complexity, binary search complexity, and and he mainly focuses on the he mainly focused on the linked list and its approaches and its implementation approaches, like how to delete from front and last, like how to add in the middle, and if we use a doubly linked list, so how to delete an element, how to add an element, and how to reverse that, and everything, how to do the sorting in it, what were the complexities, these were all the things. But mainly he focuses was on the implementation approach rather than the conceptual approach.
That's great. We have another question from Tanya itself. So, do they take you into deep about the technologies you have mentioned, or they do ask from above only?
He never asked me regarding anything. But like my interviewer was a way more quickie, like he just wants to know regarding implementation and all, so he was not interested in my projects and nothing. I just focused on, see, like he might ask me regarding anything like related to my projects, but he never did. But all the interviewers are not same. Most of the interviews usually ask and begin from your projects, so never forget your projects and never forget what are the strong points in your projects and what they can ask you or make you elaborate, make you say or make you offend about to elaborate about that thing. Do they ask deep questions? It's totally depend upon them. What you can do is you can prepare well, like from basic to advanced. It's over their mood, like what they want to know from a child or whatever candidate.
That's great. One more last question we would take up from Tanya. She's asking that can she add PBL in resume?
PBL is your projects only, baby. That's your projects itself. Whatever the projects you work upon, that holds your major project, minor projects, or PBLs. That's what we need to include in that.
Okay, we would take a last question from Vatsal. That is, how did you
Okay.
prepare for hands-on coding questions?
Okay. Hands-on coding questions. Okay, I preferred lead code for that. I preferred edu cba side for that, and for let you know regarding each and every line, just like in single line coding. For that you can prefer like a w3c for that, because that provides you way more good knowledge regarding each thing.
So I guess that was it. Every questions are answered. And
Okay,
thank you, Bahar, for your valuable time and valuable advices to us. We learned a lot from
thank
you
you.
today and hope we will keep learning from you in the future.
Thank you so much. I too love the you
Thank
all's
you, Bahar.
company, and
Thank
thank
you,
you so
everyone.
much.